March 4th, 2026 may look like just another ordinary day on the calendar. But for Taurus, today carries a message that feels different. Not louder, not dramatic, but unmistakably powerful. Because sometimes the most important shifts in life do not arrive with chaos or noise. They arrive quietly, through alignment. And right now, something unusual is happening in the energy surrounding Taurus. Across the world, many people born under this sign are beginning to feel the same subtle sensation, a feeling that something is moving, something long delayed, finally beginning to unfold. You might have noticed it yourself recently, a sudden moment of clarity, a conversation that felt strangely meaningful, an opportunity appearing at the exact moment you needed it, or perhaps just an inner feeling that your life is slowly, but undeniably, beginning to change direction. For some people, these moments feel like coincidence, but those who understand the deeper rhythm of the universe recognize something else entirely. They recognize alignment. And Taurus, March 4th, 2026 carries the signature of that alignment. Because when certain energies begin to converge around your sign, they tend to trigger something very specific. A message, not always spoken through words. Sometimes it arrives through intuition, sometimes through unexpected events, and sometimes through the sudden realization that the struggles you once thought were meaningless were actually preparing you for something larger. You see, Taurus has always been one of the most misunderstood forces in the zodiac. Many people see patience and assume slowness. They see calmness and assume passivity. But those who truly understand Taurus know the deeper truth. Nothing in nature grows stronger than what grows slowly. Mountains are not built in a day. Forests do not appear overnight. And the most unshakable people in this world often carry the same quiet strength that defines Taurus energy. A strength that does not need attention. A strength that does not demand validation. A strength that simply continues forward, no matter how many obstacles appear. And that is exactly why today's message matters. Because March 4th, 2026 may mark the moment when many Taurus individuals begin to see the results of years of unseen effort. Effort that others overlooked. Effort that sometimes even you questioned. But the universe rarely wastes effort. And when the time is right, everything begins to align. Opportunities appear. New paths reveal themselves. Old obstacles suddenly dissolve, not because of luck, but because the timing has finally arrived. In astrology, moments like this are rare but recognizable. They occur when patience meets preparation, when inner strength meets external opportunity, and when the universe finally signals that a new phase is ready to begin. But before we go deeper into the message unfolding for Taurus today, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on something. Have you recently felt that your life is shifting in subtle but undeniable ways? Perhaps something is ending. Perhaps something new is quietly beginning. Or perhaps you simply feel that the version of yourself you were a year ago no longer fits the person you are becoming. If that feeling resonates with you even slightly, comment if you feel that something in your life is beginning to align right now. Because what we are about to explore next will reveal why this day, March 4th, 2026, carries such a powerful message for Taurus. And once you understand the deeper energy surrounding this moment, you may begin to see that many of the events unfolding in your life were never random at all. They were preparation for the chapter that is just beginning to open. Main Part 1. The cosmic shift around Taurus. To truly understand why this message is appearing for Taurus on March 4th, we must first look at something deeper than daily predictions. Because astrology has never been only about events. It is about cycles. Cycles of growth. Cycles of patience. Cycles where life quietly prepares you for something greater, long before the results appear. And Taurus, perhaps more than any other sign, lives within these cycles. This is because Taurus energy is not designed for sudden explosions of success. It is designed for something far more powerful. Endurance. Think about nature for a moment. The strongest trees in the forest do not grow the fastest. They grow slowly. Their roots dig deep into the earth. Year after year, they endure storms, droughts, and seasons of stillness. And because of that slow, steady growth, they become almost impossible to uproot. This is the deeper nature of Taurus energy, and it is exactly why many Taurus individuals experience life in a very particular way. Your victories often take longer to appear. Your opportunities sometimes arrive later than expected. And there are moments when it may feel as if the universe is testing your patience again and again. But what many people do not realize is that these delays are not punishments. They are preparation. Preparation for stability. Preparation for a life built on foundations that cannot easily collapse. And when those foundations are finally ready, something remarkable happens. The universe begins to respond, not with chaos, not with random events, but with alignment. Opportunities appear that perfectly match the strength you have developed. People enter your life who recognize the value others once overlooked, and doors that seemed permanently closed begin to open in unexpected ways. This is why the message arriving on March 4th, 2026 feels so significant, because many Taurus individuals are reaching the moment where preparation meets opportunity. And when that happens, the shift can feel almost surreal. You may suddenly notice things moving faster than they did before. Ideas that once seemed impossible begin to look achievable. Connections begin to form naturally. And most importantly, your confidence begins to change. Not the loud kind of confidence that tries to impress others, but a deeper kind. The quiet certainty that you are finally stepping into the version of yourself that all those past challenges were shaping. There is a fascinating pattern that astrologers have observed for centuries when studying Taurus energy. Many of the most successful Taurus individuals did not reach their full power early in life. Instead, their greatest transformations appeared after years of persistence, after years of quietly refining their skills, after years of learning lessons that others might have avoided. And when their moment finally arrived, the results were often extraordinary. This is why patience has always been the hidden superpower of Taurus. Patience allows you to outlast obstacles that would break others. Patience allows you to continue building when the results are not yet visible. And patience allows you to remain grounded even when the world around you feels unstable. Life lesson. One of the deepest life lessons Taurus teaches the world is this: great things are not built by those who rush. They are built by those who endure. In a culture that constantly pushes people to move faster, achieve faster, and succeed faster, Taurus carries a different kind of wisdom. The wisdom of timing, because the most meaningful achievements in life are rarely the result of speed. They are the result of consistency. A person who takes one small step forward every single day will eventually travel farther than someone who sprints for a moment and then gives up. This is the quiet philosophy behind Taurus energy. You are not meant to burn brightly for a short moment. You are meant to build something that lasts. And sometimes the delays you experience are not obstacles at all. They are the universe giving you the time necessary to grow into the person capable of sustaining the success that is coming. Main Part 2. Why this message is arriving now. If the energy around Taurus is truly shifting right now, the next question becomes inevitable. Why now? Why March 4th, 2026? Why does this moment feel like the universe is suddenly sending a message that many Taurus individuals can almost sense, even if they cannot fully explain it yet? To answer that question, we need to understand something deeper about how transformation actually works. Most people believe change happens suddenly. They imagine a single moment where everything turns around, a lucky opportunity appears, a breakthrough arrives, and life immediately becomes different. But real transformation rarely works that way. In reality, life tends to move through quiet stages. First comes preparation, then comes pressure, and only after both of those stages have done their work does the shift begin. Taurus is one of the signs that experiences this pattern very clearly. Because Taurus energy is deeply connected to building, stabilizing, and strengthening the structures of life. But strong structures are never built overnight. They require time, experience, and sometimes even difficult. That is why many Taurus individuals have experienced periods in life where things felt strangely delayed, moments when you knew you had the ability to move forward, but circumstances seemed to slow everything down. You might have wondered why certain opportunities did not arrive sooner, why certain plans took longer to unfold, or why certain challenges appeared when you were already trying your best to move ahead. But here is something that decades of studying Taurus energy has revealed. Very often, those delays were not random. They were protection from stepping into something before you were fully prepared to sustain it. Because the truth about success is something most people misunderstand. Achieving success is difficult, but sustaining success requires even greater strength. And Taurus is one of the few signs designed to build success that lasts. That is why the universe often moves Taurus through longer preparation cycles. Cycles where patience becomes a teacher, where persistence becomes a test, and where the person you are becoming quietly evolves beneath the surface. But eventually, every preparation phase reaches its turning point. And that turning point often feels exactly like the energy many Taurus individuals are sensing right now. A moment where things that once felt blocked begin to loosen, where ideas that once felt distant begin to feel reachable, where the future suddenly appears less uncertain, almost as if something invisible has shifted. Because in many ways it has. There is a fascinating story often shared among astrologers when discussing the long-term evolution of Taurus energy. It is the story of people who spent years building quietly while the world around them moved quickly. They watched others rush forward. They watched others celebrate early victories, and sometimes they wondered if their own progress would ever arrive. But then something unexpected happened. While others burned out from moving too fast, Taurus kept going, slowly, steadily, relentlessly. And when the moment finally arrived for their breakthrough, the foundation they had built was so strong that their success did not disappear as quickly as it came. This pattern has repeated itself again and again throughout history. Many individuals born under Taurus have experienced their greatest transformations, not when life was easy, but after they endured long periods of preparation. And this is exactly why the message arriving now feels so meaningful, because it may represent the beginning of that turning point. The moment where preparation begins transforming into opportunity, where patience begins transforming into momentum, and where the quiet strength you have built over time begins attracting the attention and opportunities it deserves. But this transformation does not only happen externally, it also happens internally. Because one of the clearest signals that a new chapter is approaching in a Taurus life is this: your perspective begins to change. Things that once seemed important begin to lose their power over you. Old fears begin to fade, and the person you are becoming starts to feel more grounded, more confident, and more certain of what you deserve. This inner transformation is often the real signal that something new is about to unfold, because life rarely changes until we change first. And Taurus, many of you have already been changing, quietly, powerfully, and perhaps without even realizing how much you have grown. Life lesson. One of the most important lessons Taurus learns throughout life is this: timing is not your enemy. Timing is your ally. When life delays something you deeply want, it can feel frustrating. It can feel unfair. But sometimes those delays are doing something invisible but essential. They are shaping the person who will eventually receive that opportunity. If success arrives too early, many people are not ready to handle it. But when success arrives after patience, discipline, and personal growth, it becomes something far more powerful. It becomes sustainable. And Taurus is one of the signs most capable of building that kind of lasting success. So the next time life feels slow or uncertain, remember something important. You are not standing still. You are preparing. Now this leads to the next important question. If the universe is truly beginning to open new opportunities for Taurus, what exactly are those opportunities? Where might they appear? And how will Taurus recognize them when they finally arrive? Because in the next phase of this message, we will explore something fascinating: the specific types of opportunities that often appear when Taurus energy begins entering a new cycle of alignment. And once you see how these patterns tend to unfold, you may begin recognizing signs that they are already appearing in your life. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect on something. Have you recently felt that the struggles you faced in the past are starting to make sense? Have you noticed that certain doors that once seemed closed are beginning to open again? If that feeling resonates with you even slightly, comment if you believe your life is preparing for something bigger, because what we are about to explore next may help you recognize exactly where the next chapter of your Taurus journey is beginning. Main Part 3. The opportunities now entering Taurus life. Now that we understand why this message is arriving at this particular moment, the next question becomes even more intriguing. What exactly begins to change when Taurus enters a new phase of alignment? Because when the universe begins shifting energy around Taurus, the results rarely appear as dramatic miracles overnight. Instead, they appear as opportunities, subtle at first, sometimes so subtle that many people almost overlook them. But for those who are paying attention, these opportunities can mark the beginning of an entirely new direction. One of the fascinating patterns that appears again and again in Taurus life cycles is the way opportunities tend to emerge through connection, not always through sudden luck, but through people, through conversations, through someone recognizing a talent or quality in you that others once ignored. You might suddenly find yourself in a conversation that leads to an unexpected idea, or someone may introduce you to a possibility you had not considered before. Perhaps a project begins to form, perhaps a collaboration appears, or perhaps you simply start realizing that the skills you have been developing quietly over the years now have real value in the world. And this is where the Taurus advantage begins to reveal itself, because while many people chase opportunities impulsively, Taurus tends to approach them differently, carefully, thoughtfully, strategically. You are not usually interested in short-term excitement. You are interested in stability, in building something that will still exist years from now. This is why the opportunities that appear for Taurus often have long-term potential. They are rarely about quick gains. They are about sustainable growth. And when Taurus recognizes the right opportunity, something remarkable begins to happen. Your natural determination activates, your focus sharpens, and the slow, powerful momentum that defines Taurus energy begins to move forward with incredible force. There is a story I often think about when discussing the quiet power of Taurus. It is the story of individuals who spent years developing their craft, while the world around them seemed to move faster. They watched others rise quickly. They watched trends come and go, but instead of chasing every new possibility, they continued refining their abilities, improving, learning, building, and eventually, when the right opportunity finally appeared, they were ready. Not partially ready, completely ready, because the preparation had already been done. And that is the moment where Taurus energy becomes unstoppable, because once Taurus commits to a path that truly aligns with their values and strengths, their persistence becomes one of the most powerful forces in the zodiac. Obstacles that would discourage others become temporary problems to solve. Challenges become opportunities to improve, and slowly but surely, the vision Taurus is pursuing begins to become reality. But here is something very important to understand. Opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. Sometimes they appear disguised as simple conversations. Sometimes they arrive through unexpected invitations. Sometimes they appear as ideas that quietly grow stronger the more you think about them. And that is why awareness becomes so important during moments like this. Because the universe may already be presenting signs of the opportunities forming around you. Perhaps someone has recently shown interest in your abilities. Perhaps a possibility you once dismissed is beginning to feel realistic. Or perhaps you simply feel a growing desire to pursue something that once felt too uncertain. These small signals can often be the beginning of something much larger. Life lesson. One of the most powerful life lessons Taurus eventually discovers is this: opportunities rarely change your life. Your decision to act on them does. Many people encounter opportunities throughout their lives, but hesitation, fear, or self-doubt prevents them from stepping forward. Taurus, however, carries a different strength. Once you truly recognize that something aligns with your purpose, you possess the patience and determination to pursue it with unwavering focus. That is why the opportunities appearing during this phase of your life could become incredibly meaningful, because they are not appearing randomly. They are appearing after years of preparation. And when preparation meets opportunity, transformation becomes possible. But there is something else that must happen before Taurus can fully step into this new phase, something that often feels difficult, yet necessary, because every new chapter in life requires one important thing: letting go of something from the past. Old doubts, old expectations, old versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are becoming. And this is where the next stage of Taurus transformation begins. Before the universe fully opens the doors that are waiting ahead, Taurus must release the weight of what no longer belongs in the future. In the next part of this message, we will explore something deeply important: the hidden things Taurus must finally release in order for this new alignment to fully unfold. And once you recognize what those things are, you may realize that the path ahead has been waiting for you all along. Before we continue, take a moment to reflect on something honestly. Have you recently noticed an opportunity, an idea, or a possibility appearing in your life that you once thought was impossible? If so, comment if you feel that new opportunities are beginning to appear in your life, because what we are about to explore next may reveal why those opportunities are arriving exactly when they are meant to. Main Part 4. What Taurus must release. If new opportunities are beginning to appear for Taurus, there is one truth that must be understood. Every new chapter in life requires space, and space can only appear when something old is released. This is one of the quiet paradoxes of transformation. People often focus on what they want to gain: more success, more stability, more love, more abundance. But rarely do they ask a more important question: what must be released in order for those things to arrive? For Taurus, this moment of release often appears after long periods of persistence. You have carried responsibilities, you have carried expectations, and sometimes you Over time, these things accumulate quietly, not as dramatic burdens, but as subtle limitations. Ideas about what you are capable of, memories of past disappointments, old narratives that whisper in the background of your mind, suggesting that certain goals might be too difficult, too risky, or too uncertain. And yet something interesting begins to happen when Taurus enters a new cycle of alignment. Those old narratives start losing their power. What once felt impossible begins to feel realistic. What once felt intimidating begins to feel manageable. And what once felt like a distant dream begins to feel like a real possibility. But in order for this shift to fully take hold, Taurus must release something that many people struggle with throughout their lives: the need to hold on to the past version of themselves. There are moments in life when the identity you once built no longer reflects who you are becoming. The beliefs that once protected you begin to limit you. The routines that once created stability begin to restrict growth. And the fears that once helped you avoid risk begin to block opportunity. For Taurus, letting go of these things can feel uncomfortable at first, because Taurus values stability. You prefer to build solid foundations before making major changes. But the universe occasionally invites Taurus to expand those foundations, to grow beyond the limits that once defined your world. And that invitation may be appearing right now, perhaps through the realization that you have outgrown certain environments, perhaps through the awareness that your ambitions have grown larger than they once were, or perhaps through the quiet but undeniable feeling that the future is asking more from you than the past ever did. This is not a signal to abandon everything you have built. It is a signal to evolve. because the strongest structures in life are the ones that can grow without collapsing. And Taurus is uniquely capable of this kind of growth. Your stability does not disappear when you evolve. It becomes stronger, more refined, more aligned with the person you are becoming. There is a powerful moment that many Taurus individuals eventually experience. It is the moment when they stop trying to preserve who they used to be and begin embracing who they are meant to become. That moment often feels like a quiet awakening. Suddenly, the past no longer holds the same emotional weight. Old fears feel smaller, old expectations feel irrelevant, and a new sense of clarity begins to appear. This clarity does not arrive through external validation. It comes from within, from the realization that your life is no longer defined by the obstacles you faced, but by the strength you developed while overcoming them. And once that clarity appears, something remarkable happens. The path forward becomes easier to see, not because life suddenly becomes simple, but because you are no longer carrying unnecessary weight from the past. Life lesson. One of the deepest life lessons Taurus eventually learns is this: letting go is not losing. It is making space. Many people believe that holding on to the past protects them, but in reality, the past can quietly limit the future. The courage to release old fears, outdated expectations, and limiting beliefs is often the very thing that allows new opportunities to enter your life. And Taurus has a unique strength when it comes to transformation. You do not change impulsively, you change when you are ready. And when Taurus is truly ready to move forward, the transformation is not temporary, it is permanent. Now something very interesting begins to happen once Taurus releases the weight of the past. Momentum. The same life that once felt slow begins to move. Ideas begin connecting. Opportunities begin forming. And sometimes people enter your life who recognize the strength you have quietly built over the years. This is the moment when preparation finally meets possibility. And Taurus, this may be exactly the phase that many of you are entering now, but there is one final piece of the puzzle that must be understood before the full meaning of this message becomes clear. Because once Taurus releases the past and begins recognizing new opportunities, the universe begins revealing something even more powerful: the direction of your next destiny chapter. In the next part of this message, we will explore the fascinating way Taurus begins stepping into a completely new phase of purpose and alignment. And once you see how this transformation unfolds, you may realize that the path ahead has been forming around you for far longer than you imagined. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect on something honestly. Is there something in your life right now that you know you must release in order to grow? A belief, a fear, or perhaps a version of yourself that no longer fits the person you are becoming? If that resonates with you, comment if you are ready to release the past and move forward. Because the next stage of this message will reveal what happens when Taurus finally steps into their next chapter. Main Part 5. The new destiny forming for Taurus. Once Taurus begins releasing the weight of the past, something remarkable starts to unfold. Momentum. Life begins to move again, not in chaotic bursts, but in instead meaningful progress. The same path that once felt uncertain suddenly begins revealing direction. And this is often the moment when Taurus realizes something powerful. The delays, struggles, and lessons of the past were not obstacles. They were preparation for a new level of stability and purpose. Because Taurus energy does not simply chase success. It builds a life that feels secure, a life that feels meaningful, a life where effort eventually transforms into something lasting. This is why many Taurus individuals eventually step into periods of life where things finally begin aligning. Connections begin to form naturally. Ideas that once seemed distant become achievable, and the future begins to feel less like a mystery and more like a path that is slowly becoming clear. When this phase begins, one of the first things Taurus notices is a change in how people respond to them. Where once your ideas may have been overlooked, they now begin attracting attention. Where once your presence may have gone unnoticed, people begin recognizing the stability and confidence you bring into situations. And this is not accidental. The energy Taurus develops through patience and persistence becomes magnetic over time. People trust it, people respect it, and opportunities often follow that respect. There is a reason many Taurus individuals eventually find themselves in positions where others rely on them. Your presence carries a sense of reliability that the world often needs more than excitement. And during moments of alignment like the one many Taurus individuals are entering now, that reliability becomes incredibly valuable. You may begin noticing that people seek your advice more often, that your ideas start gaining traction, or that situations begin appearing where your leadership becomes necessary. These moments are signals that your role in the world may be expanding, because the universe tends to open new doors when someone has proven they can handle responsibility with maturity. Taurus has a unique ability to carry responsibility without losing their balance. This is one of the reasons your greatest achievements often appear when you least expect them, not when you are chasing recognition, but when you are simply doing the work, quietly, consistently, and with integrity. There are many stories throughout history that illustrate this pattern. People who spent years building their abilities in silence, while others rushed ahead seeking quick results. And eventually, when the moment arrived, the quiet builders surpassed them all, not because they were lucky, but because they were prepared. Taurus energy is deeply connected to this kind of preparation, the kind that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results over time. And that is why the energy surrounding March 4th, 2026 feels so interesting, because many Taurus individuals may be entering the moment where preparation begins, revealing its rewards. Perhaps not all at once, but steadily, opportunity by opportunity, step by step. The future you once imagined may now begin moving closer to reality. Life lesson. One of the most powerful lessons Taurus teaches the world is this: real success is not built in moments. It is built in habits. The small actions you repeat every day eventually shape the life you experience. While many people search for shortcuts, Taurus understands the deeper truth. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. A single day of hard work means little without persistence, but years of steady dedication can transform even the most ordinary effort into something extraordinary. And this is why Taurus often succeeds in ways that surprise others. Because while the world was distracted by quick victories, you were building something that could actually last. Now this brings us to something even more fascinating. When Taurus begins stepping into a new phase of alignment like this, something deeper than opportunity begins to emerge. Clarity. Clarity about what truly matters. Clarity about the direction your life is meant to take. And clarity about the kind of legacy you want to create. Because Taurus is not only about building success, it is about building meaning. In the next part of this message, we will explore something profound. The deeper purpose that often reveals itself when Taurus enters a new stage of personal power. And once you begin recognizing that purpose, you may realize that your life has been guiding you toward it for far longer than you imagined. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect honestly. Have you recently started feeling more confident about the direction your life is taking? Have you noticed that the future feels clearer than it once did? If that resonates with you, comment if you feel that your life is beginning to move in the right direction. Because the final part of this message will reveal something many Taurus individuals eventually discover: why their greatest strength was never speed, but the ability to build something that truly lasts. Main Part 6. The deeper purpose Taurus is stepping into. When Taurus begins entering a new cycle of alignment, something deeper than opportunity and stability begins to emerge. Purpose. Because the most powerful transformations in life are not only about achieving success, they are about understanding why your journey unfolded the way it did. For many Taurus individuals, this realization appears gradually. It begins with small moments of clarity, moments where you suddenly understand why certain challenges had to happen, why certain relationships entered your life, why certain delays forced you to develop patience, strength, and discipline. At the time, those experiences may have felt confusing, sometimes even unfair. But with time, Taurus often discovers something remarkable. Every obstacle carried a lesson. Every delay carried a purpose, and every difficult chapter quietly shaped the person you were meant to become. This is why many Taurus individuals eventually develop a unique perspective on life. You begin to see patterns that others overlook. You begin to understand the importance of timing And perhaps most importantly, you begin to recognize the quiet strength that exists within you. Because Taurus does not simply survive challenges, you transform through them. And that transformation eventually leads to something powerful, a sense of direction. When people talk about purpose, they often imagine something dramatic, a single moment of realization where everything suddenly makes sense. But in reality, purpose often reveals itself slowly, just like everything else in the Taurus journey. It appears through experience, through reflection, through the gradual understanding of what truly matters to you. And when this understanding begins forming, Taurus often discovers something surprising. Your purpose was never about impressing the world. It was about building something meaningful within it. Perhaps that means creating stability for the people you love. Perhaps it means developing talents that bring value to others. Or perhaps it simply means becoming the kind of person whose presence makes the world feel more grounded and secure. Taurus energy carries a rare quality. You remind people that stability still matters, that loyalty still matters, that patience and dedication still matter. In a world that often moves too quickly, Taurus becomes the anchor, the steady force that keeps things from drifting into chaos. And when Taurus finally recognizes this role, something powerful begins to happen. Confidence grows, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that quietly changes how you move through the world. You stop questioning your worth, you stop doubting your ability to create the life you desire, and you begin trusting the process that has been shaping you all along. There is a quiet wisdom that many Taurus individuals eventually carry, a wisdom born from experience. You begin to understand that life is not about rushing toward the future. It is about building something meaningful step by step. And that philosophy becomes one of your greatest strengths, because the world often needs people who know how to build patiently, who know how to remain steady during uncertainty, who know how to transform effort into something lasting. And Taurus, that is the role many of you are stepping into now. The energy surrounding March 4th, 2026 reflects that shift, a moment where your past experiences begin connecting with your future direction, where the lessons you once struggled to understand begin revealing their meaning, and where the person you have become finally begins stepping fully into their potential. Life lesson. One of the deepest truths Taurus eventually discovers is this: your purpose is not something you chase. It is something you grow into. Every experience you live through shapes the person you become. Every challenge strengthens your character, and every lesson prepares you for the responsibilities and opportunities that will eventually appear in your life. Purpose does not arrive suddenly. It forms slowly through patience, growth, and self-understanding. And Taurus is uniquely designed for this kind of journey. Now something important remains to be understood. Because while this message speaks about alignment, opportunity, and purpose, there is still one final truth Taurus must remember. A truth that explains why your journey has unfolded the way it has, and why the next chapter of your life may become one of the most meaningful you have ever experienced. In the final part of this message, we will bring everything together. We will reveal the deeper meaning behind the alignment surrounding Taurus right now. And once you hear that final message, you may begin seeing your life through an entirely new perspective. Before we move to that final reflection, take a moment to ask yourself something honestly. Do you feel that your life experiences have been preparing you for something bigger, something more meaningful than what you once imagined? If that resonates with you, comment if you feel that your life has been preparing you for your true purpose, because the final message for Taurus today may reveal exactly why this moment matters more than it first appeared. Final conclusion, the true message for Taurus. So now, Taurus, we arrive at the deeper meaning behind the message that has been unfolding throughout this reading. March 4th, 2026 is not important because of a single prediction. It is important because of the realization it invites you to make. A realization about your journey, a realization about your strength, and a realization about the quiet transformation that has been shaping your life for far longer than you may have realized. You see, Taurus has never been the sign of sudden miracles. Your story is not written in dramatic bursts of luck. Your story is written in persistence, in patience, in the ability to continue building even when progress is slow and the outcome is uncertain. And because of that, the life Taurus eventually creates often carries something many others search for, but rarely achieve: stability, meaning, and a sense of purpose that cannot easily be shaken. The struggles you faced in the past were not meaningless. They were shaping your endurance. The delays you experienced were not punishments. They were strengthening your patience, and the lessons you learned were quietly preparing you for the chapter that is now beginning to open. Because the truth about Taurus is something many people misunderstand. You are not slow. You are deliberate. You are not passive. You are steady. And when the moment arrives for Taurus to step fully into their potential, the results are rarely temporary. They are lasting. This is the deeper message behind the alignment many Taurus individuals are beginning to feel now. A moment where the effort of the past begins revealing its value. A moment where the person you have become finally begins recognizing their own strength. And a moment where the path ahead may begin unfolding with greater clarity than before. This does not mean every challenge disappears. Life always continues to test our resilience. But Taurus carries a rare advantage. You have already proven to yourself that you can endure. And once you know you can endure, the future becomes far less intimidating. Because no matter what obstacles appear, you now understand something powerful. You will find a way forward. You always have, and you always will. Final life lesson. Perhaps the most important truth Taurus eventually learns is this: the universe does not rush the people who are meant to build things that last. While others may chase quick success, Taurus builds foundations. While others may seek immediate results, Taurus develops strength. And while others may burn brightly for a short moment, Taurus creates something far more powerful. A life that continues growing stronger over time. That is why patience has always been your greatest gift. Not because it forces you to wait, but because it allows you to build something extraordinary while the world is distracted by temporary victories. As you move forward from this moment, remember something important. The alignment you are feeling now is not random. It is the natural result of everything you have experienced, learned, and endured. And the next chapter of your life will not appear overnight. Just like everything Taurus builds, it will unfold steadily, step by step, opportunity by opportunity, moment by moment. But the difference now is that you understand the process. You trust your strength, and you recognize that the future is not something to fear. It is something you are fully capable of creating. So take a moment to reflect honestly. Do you feel that the events of your life have been quietly preparing you for something bigger, something more meaningful than what you once imagined? If this message resonated with you today, comment Taurus rising below, so we know how many Taurus souls are feeling this shift right now. And if you enjoy these messages, exploring the deeper meaning behind the Taurus journey, remember to subscribe so you never miss the next cosmic insight. Because sometimes a single message can change the way we see our path, and sometimes it arrives at exactly the moment we were meant to hear it.